Hello, welcome to this next flipped preaching video. This week we're looking at John 10 verses 22 to 30, but in particular one little snippet from this verse, which is from this passage, which is brilliant. Jesus said that my sheep know my voice and they follow me. My sheep know my voice and they follow me. So I just want to spend a few minutes thinking about the idea of what it means to be a follower of Jesus. Now, I use social media quite a lot. You're probably watching this through a link from social media, but I don't often use Instagram or Twitter. I use it a bit. I don't put anything on Twitter at all, actually. I find words quite hard, but I use Instagram a fair bit. But in both of those two platforms, when you sign up to get someone else's information coming into your feed, that's called following. And I think the word there is really interesting, that you become a follower. I've got, 150 or so followers on Instagram, which is very, very kind because I don't put very much on there. But when you become a follower of someone on Instagram, on one level, I suppose it's just like saying, yeah, they're my friend, I'm interested in what they do. But on another level, you're opening yourselves up to their influence. The people I follow on Instagram are people whose sort of daily drip feed of influence in their life I want. Some are Christians, some are friends, some are people, people I know in the local area, some are local businesses, some are artists or bullet journalers that I respect and I want to learn from, but they're all people whose influence I want in my life in a small way, but it builds up cumulatively. People who are really good at Instagram are now called influencers, which I think is quite interesting. People with lots of followers are called influencers. Now, Jesus calls us to follow him, and he doesn't want us to be just one of, hundreds of people that we follow. It's a different league with Jesus. It's about reorienting our whole life, so he's the influence behind everything. No one's asked me this, but I'll answer a question that no one has asked. Each week, when I do these videos and when I preach and lead Bible studies, I follow the lectionary, which is a pattern which has been set up by all sorts of churches, sort of joined together in a remarkable act of unity, and decided that on any given Sunday there'll be certain Bible passages which churches will tend to use. Now, we're free to abandon that. It's not set in stone that we have to do those in the Methodist Church, but I've always made it a discipline to stick to that, and particularly the gospel passages. I always preach on the gospel passage. These videos, I think they're almost exclusively on the gospel passage. Now, in the lectionary each week, there are also Old Testament verses, Psalms, and bits from the other New Testament writings as well. But I always prioritise the gospel, because I find that as a follower of Jesus Christ, as a disciple, I need to hear his influence. I need his words. I need his actions drip fed into me. So that's why I always use the gospel, because I need that, and I think that that's the best thing for us all as disciples to hear. The other texts are good, but I think it's not as good as hearing Jesus and focusing on what he was like. I think that's got to be the core of our faith. I'm just reading this book at the moment, The Divine Conspiracy by Dallas Willard. And I probably should have read this ages ago. It's a really old book. If you haven't read it, I recommend it. But his basic idea is basically that we've somehow lost the idea of discipleship. We've sort of created a Christianity which can be just something that something that you sign up to. Perhaps it's like an insurance policy for the afterlife. But he's saying that really it's about discipleship. It's about this conscious decision to follow Jesus. And this isn't an exact quote because I couldn't find the page, but he said it means that we should live our lives as if Jesus was living it. So we don't follow and do exactly what Jesus did, because he's lived his life already. But for you and me, we have our lives to lead in all different shapes and sizes. What if Jesus was leading that life? What if he was in your shoes? How would he do it? And that's our job, to try and find out and to try and do likewise. So the sheep hear the voice and they follow the master. So may we be people who are obedient and follow. Okay, I hope that's been useful. See you next time. Bye-bye.